UFC Hall of Fame Khabib Nurmagomedov wants the world's top MMA promotion to cut to the chase with Islam Makhachev. On May 7, Charles Oliveira went one-on-one with Justin Gaethje. The bout headlined UFC 274. Oliveira was stripped of the UFC lightweight championship due to tipping the scales half a pound over the limit. Had Gaethje defeated Do Bronx, he would have been recognized as the 155-pound title holder. Oliveira ended up getting the submission finish in the opening round. He dropped Gaethje with a right hand and eventually worked his way to the back for the rear naked choke finish. UFC President Dana White recently told reporters that he's still interested in booking Islam vs. Beneil. Khabib took to his Twitter account to make it clear that he feels Islam should be fighting for gold next. Is there really a more interesting duel in the UFC at the moment than Islam vs. Charles? Just bring these fighters to Abu Dhabi on October 22. Let the undisputed champion be determined. Why Islam has to do contender fight, if there's no champion in this division? At UFC, at Dana White, Islam is riding a 10-fight winning streak. He hasn't suffered a loss since being knocked out by Adriano Martins back in October 2015. It is the only loss in Islam's pro MMA career thus far. Some are in agreement with Khabib Nurmagomedov and feel Islam vs. Oliveira is the fight to make next. One of those people is Joe Rogan. Dana White told media members that Rogan urged him not to book Islam vs. Beneil.
Beneil Dariush and Islam Makhachev, you still want to make that fight next?
I do, but Joe Rogan just grabbed me in the hallway and told me not to.
Winner of that fight, would that be for the #1 contender spot?
Yes.
So then, with everything that went down this weekend, any way Michael Chandler or any other name could be fighting Charles Oliveira for the vacant lightweight strap?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the fight just happened.
Brandon Royval, #6, he got the victory, he got the performance bonus. He called for a flyweight title belt. What do you think he's got to do? He's probably at least one more fight away from that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know tonight. I don't make fights the night of the fight.
Any update on what to do for the flyweight title? Are we going to see the trilogy fight with Brandon Moreno and Figgy? The quadrilogy, rather.
Probably not. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen.
What's going to happen instead?
Well, I'll tell you when we announce it.
Appreciate.
Second story. Dana White reacts to UFC 274 scale controversy that cost Charles Oliveira his title is a nightmare. After submitting Justin Gaethje on Saturday night, the first thing Charles Oliveira did was hop over the cage and look for Dana White. He found the UFC boss sitting cage-side, and they shared a brief moment. What Oliveira said isn't clear, but you could reasonably assume the gist of it by listening to White's response, which was picked up by ESPN Plus microphones. "You didn't make weight," White told Oliveira amidst the noise of a raucous crowd at Footprint Center. "I know. You didn't make weight. You're the #1 contender." The reason Oliveira is the #1 contender and not still the lightweight champion after UFC 274 is because he missed weight by a half-pound Friday morning, which forced him to vacate the title he won last year. Normally missing weight, especially for a title fight, is a black and white issue. This one, however, contains shades of grey after several fighters publicly questioned the accuracy of the scale. A scale that Tony Ferguson wiggled on prior to Oliveira taking his turn. There were also rumblings about the accuracy of the digital scale being used backstage to check weights before stepping on the traditional official scale approved by the Arizona Boxing and MMA Commission. All of this is to say that it feels, to many, like a raw deal for Oliveira to be stripped of his title over half a pound given the confusion surrounding the scales. "It's a nightmare. I mean, it's a nightmare," White said of the situation during the UFC 274 post-fight news conference. "We have this issue where guys come out, and they'll start checking the UFC's scale the night before. All the Europeans and guys from other parts of the world do kilos, so they all start fucking with the scale to look at kilos. And who knows? Nobody apparently. As far the UFC is concerned, Oliveira missed weight." The Arizona Commission, meanwhile, issued a statement essentially absolving itself from any blame. As a result of the scale controversy, White announced a measure the UFC plans to take moving forward. "There's so many moving parts to this beast of a machine that we run every week," White said. "We've got to have a security guard where the scale is now. It's something we're gonna have to do." The good news for Oliveira, however, is that White said he will still receive pay-per-view points for UFC 274. He's also 100% assured to be involved in the next lightweight title fight. "Listen, he's the guy. He's the guy," White said. "He didn't make weight. We have rules. He didn't make the weight. The belt is vacant. I'm sure in the minds of the media and fight fans, Oliveira is the champion. You know, but technically he's the #1 contender now. He's the guy. Oliveira knows he's the guy, regardless of the circumstances. We were all sure that we made weight on Thursday, Oliveira told reporters through an interpreter. It's in our hands. They're not going to take that away from us. I went into the octagon to defend the title. I don't have to get it back. The champion is Charles Oliveira, and we all know that.
It's a nightmare. I mean, it's a nightmare. You know, we were just talking about it in the back there. What we need to do, we have this issue where guys come out and they'll start checking the scale the night before, and, you know, all the Europeans and guys from other parts of the world do kilos. So they all start the scale to look at kilos, and who knows? You know, there's so many moving parts to this beast of a machine that we run every week. And, you know, we got to have a security guard in there where the scale is now. And, you know, it's something we're going to have to do.
Is there any thoughts from you or the rest of the staff on his status as champion, right? I mean, it's your belt. I mean, if you want to give it to him, you can give it to him, right? And that's what you said, like when it was Ally Quinto was going to fight for it, and you're like, yeah, we don't care if he beats the guy, we'll give him the belt.
Well, listen, he's the guy. He's the guy. He didn't make weight. We have rules. He didn't make the weight. He doesn't. You know, the belt is vacant. But I think, you know, I'm sure in the minds of the media and fight fans, Oliveira is the champion, you know. But technically, he's the #1 contender now. You know, he's the guy.
Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel.